Hello, Televisions. Good afternoon. And this is again your learning partner, Teacher Anna. Now, let's have our next lesson. So, in the previous lesson, we have learned about lesson number 6. And this is about politics and or political science and what we call economics. Okay? Now let's go to our next lesson, and this is about coming together or engaging multidisciplinary studies. So, bagay ito sa mga may magaganda at mabubuting puso na gustong tumuklas ng multidisciplinary disciplines of social studies. Now, let's go. Let's learn this lesson, guys. So let's have the next page. Okay, so at the end of the lesson, you are expected to discuss the concept of multidisciplinary studies and then identify and define multidisciplinary social studies such as area studies, community development, and development studies, and then explain the importance of these disciplines as fields of study and practice. This is the learning outcomes that we are going to attain today. So let's go. So let's try to know what is a multidisciplinary studies. So as you can see in the picture, there are a lot of books because you are going to study different disciplines. So it means, or in the social sciences, it aims to link the social sciences with another to develop a more holistic framework for the study and analysis of society. Okay, so sa multidisciplinary studies, guys, it is the integration or sa pagsama-sama or pagdevelop ng link between the social sciences with one another para makadevelop tayo ng holistic framework para malaman natin at maintindihan natin ang ating society. Okay? So that we can study and analyze what is in society. That is multidisciplinary studies. Now let's go to area studies. So look at here. As you can see in the picture, there is a man who is trying to locate pieces of puzzle in the world. So in this one, it is a discipline which is concerned with the study of particular region. So, inaalam niya yung mga particular region or nation. So, giving close attention to its history and culture in the interpretation of events and phenomena. So, this is what we call area studies. Now, let's go to community development. So, when we say community development, it is the study of the interaction of human beings within a certain locality or area. So, as a discipline, community development employs a set of methods that can increase individuals and collectively or collective capacity for social change and approaches such as advocacy, consultation, and network formation with local groups. So when we say community development, guys, so ito na yung study ng interaction or integration of human beings within a certain locality or area. So, just like in a community, guys, wala man siguro dito na hindi gustong mag-develop or umunlad. So, lahat tayo gusto umunlad ang ating komunidad. So, that's why we have the community development. So, ito yung pinag-aaralan nila yung interaction ng bawat individual or human beings to a certain locality or area. So, just like in Tagum City, so we also have our community development office, which aims to know the individual or mga Tagomeños in terms of their locality here in Tagum. As a discipline, this is also a community development that employs a set of methods. So meron ding ini-employ na set of methods dito. So yung iba ng mga community developer, sila yung uh, nagkakandak ng research to know more about the community. And then, in this one, they are going to collectively capacity for social change. So gusto nila magkaroon ng good social change. That's why there should be a community development. So ang kanilang mga approaches, it can be advocacy, like for example, ano, no to depression advocacy. So meaning they're going to make programs that will help people of or Tagomeños to be free from suicidal tendencies. We also have consultation, like for example, maraming mahihirap dito sa Tagum or maraming mahihirap na mga Tagomeños who cannot afford free check or check-up or medical check-up. So that's why there is a community development which conduct consultation. Like in our barangay, sometimes it is free, and then differentiated consultation, like for example for dentist. And so we also have the network formation with local groups. So nagkakaroon din tayo ng mga network formation with local groups. Like for example, lang bayong, di ba, dako kayo siyang tabang. So, especially to the poor community. So what else is the community development? So community development, guys, is also a process where community members, okay, community development is also a process where community members come together. So they work hand in hand, just like here in the picture. And then they work together to take collective action and generate solutions to common problems. So just like for example in a community or in a certain street, guys, kanang guba ang inyuhang post lamp. So mureklamo mo dito sa inyuhang purok chairman, and then si purok chairman po mureklamo dito sa barangay para maaksyonan. So if that is part of the barangay, so shoulder na sa barangay. But if it is not, then go to the city. So just like that, because we are going to generate solutions to common problems. Even small or big problems na siya, we need to work hand in hand to solve it. Okay? So community well-being, like for example, economic, social, environmental, and cultural, often evolves from this type of collective action. By being taken at a grassroots level, community development ranges from small initiatives within a small group to large initiatives that involve the broader community. So just like when you are going to have a program like adopting a barangay, so you cannot help the whole barangay, but you need to integrate it one by one. Okay, like for example, you will help the kindergarten system. Okay. So, ginagmay lang siya basta kanunay. So, like for example, if there is an effective program in a certain purok, kana siya nga program, i-adapt na siya to a broader concept or to a broader community. Like for example, from purok, i-apply na siya per barangay. So, kay nindot man siya ang resultaan ng program, it will also apply to the whole Tagum. So, just like the 5S, that is all already, or that is just a project of a certain school, and then hanggang gi-apply na sa tibuok Pilipinas, and almost all of the city are practicing it, and even the MRF. So now let's have the next one. So we also have the effective community development should be. So if you are going to be a very good city officials, so you are going to have the effective community development. So ang community development, guys, it should be a long-term endeavor. So meaning kung nagplano ka ana, dapat mulungtad na siya og dugay. And it also has an effect long-term. So it is also a well-planned, it should be inclusive and equitable, it should be holistic and integrated into the bigger picture. So just like kana ganing mga dagko kay nga pangarap, i-broken down man gud nimo siya into smaller pieces of goals para ma-integrate na siya into a bigger picture. Next is initiated and supported by community members. So dapat po gi-initiate na siya o dapat suportahan sa community members. So if mingon ninyo ang mga pro leaders na you need to segregate your basura, so dapat inyo hadyo na siyang suportahan. Okay? We also have that is for the benefit to the community. So dili lang benefit sa isa ka tao, but to the benefit of the whole community. Next is grounded in experience that leads to best practices. So, nagkaroon ng community development, it is because naka-experience na ta nga pangit kung inani. So that's why we always think for the best practices. So that is what we call community development. Okay, so I hope all our community will develop and progress. Okay. Now let's go to development studies. So when we say development studies, guys, it includes seeking to examine communities with the context to their historical, economic, political, geographical, and anthropological backgrounds to formulate policies that will bring about sustainable improvements to the community's overall quality of life. So yung development studies, guys, it seeks to examine communities within the context of their historical, economic, political, geographical, and anthropological backgrounds to formulate policies that will bring about sustainable improvement. So gusto ni development studies na magkaroon sila ng process or research that would result into sustainable improvement. Mulambo ang ekonomiya, mulambo ang quality of life sa komunidad. So it is also a multidisciplinary subject that focuses on the evolution of nations. So evolve no yung mga nation or the third world country into a first class country. Gikan sa ilahang political, cultural, geographical, and socioeconomic perspectives. It emerged as an academic discipline during the late part of the 20th century, amid growing concerns for third world economies struggling to establish themselves in the post-colonial era. So, sino ba dito ang mga bansa na ayaw lumago, di ba? So, all of us or all of the third world countries would really love to have a development studies para lumago ang ating ekonomiya because we are struggling. So, when small people are struggling in a certain country, so it means, what if the national, unsa pa ka ang national no, kung ang mga ginagmay nga tao nag-struggle, so ang national nag-struggle pod. So that's why we need to have a very good and even great development studies. So first is the research field examining problems in developing country. So para masolusyonan ang problema, dapat alamin muna natin kung ano yung problema. Second, comparative focus on international development of human societies. So, para malaman natin kung ano ba yung mga magagandang focus with the international development. So, kung sa ibang bansa, nag-work ito, so let's try here in our country. So, maybe the other countries' development studies are kanang also integrative and also applicable here in our country. But there are also some cases na hindi. What is applicable in other countries is not applicable in our country. So that's why we need to have comparative focus. So kailangan natong i-compare ang international development with other countries with the development in our countries. And then we also have multidisciplinary social science, primary normative object on social, political, and economic issues. So ito, because it is very broad, kailangan natin i-integrate yung lahat ng multidisciplinary social sciences. Like for example, ang ating social, study ng ating society, yung political natin, study of our politics, and economic issues. So, kailangan nating malaman yun para compare and contrast what are those projects and development that is applicable in our country. Kasi baka iba naman yung political ideologies ng ibang country, kaya nangyari ang ganito or nag-improve ang kanilang uh, community. So we need to study that. We also have research interest of the post-World War world. So because when you read very old books and even the contemporary books, guys, about the World War II, it says that there are a lot of advantages that we have get from the World War. But there are also a lot of things that or disadvantages that it gets. So, dahil dito, lumago yung iba't ibang mga country because they want to be sustainable and they want to be or to have superpower para dili sila mabuli sa ibang country. So, which is a good thing. Like, kanang ma-scrutinize and magamit sila tugmay nga atong utok para dili ta mahimong kanang tamak-tamakan lang sa ubang country. So that's why na it also bring advantages. So always remember, guys, that even a war can bring goodness to the society or kanang napo siya makuha nga advantages. So this is the Cold War. Mm-hmm. So most likely, a lot of countries, third world countries in the old age, became a superpower, or they have now a superpower because of this interest. Nga dili mabuli sa ubang country, just like China. China in the old age or in the past, they are kanang daghan kay nagasakop sila. They are invaded by Japan, Spain, America, and a lot more. But now they belong to the superpowers now. So, dili na sila basta-basta bully sa ubang country. And we also have motivated by underdevelopment in the decolonizing third world. So most likely no ang belong sa third world country kay katong daghan kayo og nag-colonize. So kailangan nato to siya i-decolonize. So that that's why we need to show up and show our skills and improve our skills, especially your skills as the future of our nation. So we need to develop ourselves na kinahanglan jud nato i-develop and be a better version of ourselves to come up with a lot of research and development studies. So nga makatapang sa ato ang komunidad and the national or our country at large. Next, we also have knowledge to guide development interventions, later problematizing also the intervention itself. Dapat din nating malaman or magkaroon tayo ng idea or magkaroon tayo ng knowledge na mag-guide sa atin para magkaroon tayo ng development interventions. Kagaya ng pandemic na to, hindi tayo prepare. Pero kung i-research natin, maraming mga bill na nagpre-prepare para sa pandemic. Pero hindi natin siya makanang giuna kay wala pa manggod. So, most likely, we need also to open our minds with different development interventions. And then later, problematizing also the intervention itself. So dapat, wala pa nahitabo ang problem, we come up with a solution or intervention para kung moabot na, kaya na to siya i-handle. So I hope you will also be a great leaders of the nation, guys. So that would be all for our lesson today. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you learn a lot from our lesson. I hope you become a great leader someday and a great you will be a career pathfinder in the future. So do your best, guys, and always Do your best in our lesson and do your best inside and outside of the school. And always make your parents proud. Have a great day and let's go to your assessment. See you in a while, guys.